I know you're a scrub. You're a scrub. You man stealing my intro. They're so annoying. What's up, people? We're back again.
Hello.
We got surprisingly
blue, green, purple, red,
XY chromosome.
Hey.
Her name is. Why'd you tell
That's a joke.
her name?
I
I was waiting to see. I didn't want to interrupt you. See the word.
Sarita.
Her name is Sarita.
Sarita Caldania Varanasi.
Oh, she gave you the full govy.
Yeah.
Don't go creeping for her, cause.
You wouldn't be able to spell it. It's okay.
Yeah.
But Brandon would still find it. Anyway.
Somehow Brandon would still find it.
Anyway,
realistically, there's not.
Ree is my super turn friend.
You could
who's
say
also
she's
my
your
manager.
sister-in-law.
And my future sister-in-law.
Yeah.
God willing.
Yeah. So.
Because I
We
want to
brought her
wear
on.
that. I want to go to that super turn Indian wedding.
We brought her on because we had a special video for you guys. So, a lot of people out there, they've been getting into relationships with females who aren't necessarily from the same culture or ethnicity as them, aka interracial relationships.
Which are good. We're not saying they're bad. We're not saying they're good. I like them. You know? I like free expression, like, you know, collaboration.
Says the Magneto of black people. But that's a
Because we're at the bottom! You act like I'm doing this arbitrarily. Like it's just, hey, guys, we're in a really good position, but I'm still only gonna care about black people. Like the fucking bottom. Do you know that everybody shits on us? Everybody. Even people who are in a shitty position. People in Mexico, okay? They're living a fucked up life. They don't even have clean water all the time. Are still shitting on black. They will still come here and shit on us. So respect me.
Yes,
do that for no reason.
Yes, Magneto.
Just like Magneto and X-Men, the mutants were discriminated against, and all he wanted for the Magna was to be respected. But you know what? The government's like, yo, fuck your respect. And he's like, you know what? Fuck my respect. You know what? Fuck your life. I'm gonna just do this myself. He tried to go the good route.
Anyways, back to our topic at hand. So, you happen to be in a relationship with one of Kash's closest friends. Yeah.
They're like brothers.
Yeah. So, like, tell us firsthand about your interracial relationship.
Well, we met through mutual friends. I feel like when it comes to interracial relationships, it's about respect, not just for the partner, but even for your own race too. Like, if he was someone who was disrespecting his own race, I wouldn't be as attracted to him. Like, I don't see that as an attractive trait. Like, if you wouldn't put down your own race, then that's something that shows that you have respect for who you are and you know where you came from. So that's where I think.
I just like to pause everything. You notice how she has such a powerful voice when she speaks?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say on the matter?
I think that when you come from two different cultures, the biggest thing that can be like, sometimes there's always one person who has to kind of like adapt a little more. And it's like if you're not willing to budge and he's not willing to budge, that can be a clash. And that's not gonna work out. So someone has to compromise here and there in terms of culture. Luckily, I'm with someone who is like West Indian and I'm East Indian technically. It's from the south of India. So it's like our cultures, like we eat similar foods and his family's vegetarian, so is mine. So there's not that much difference in terms of intrinsic culture. The biggest culture differences I would say would be religion-wise. But that's
so
stuff we have.
What religion are you?
Technically, I was born in India.
Oh, okay.
And he's Christian.
So like, was there like any awkwardness when you brought home this West Indian to your parents? Like, where
they live in Vancouver. So they never personally met him.
So they've never physically met him. But
they've spoken to him on the phone and stuff. At first, I don't know how thrilled they were, not because they didn't even know what race he was from at first. If any of you are Indian, you'll know. Indian parents, they don't like relationships, they don't like dating. When I told my parents I was dating someone, already they were like, oh my gosh.
You gotta be betrothed to.
Yeah, like.
Where was the man that we were gonna choose for you?
But my parents eventually eventually were cool with it. My dad, the biggest thing he was saying was like, he like literally said to me on the phone, like, I don't care if he's yellow, pink, purple, white. The problem is, like, guys these days don't care about girls. They'll throw you away. He'll use like a handkerchief and throw you away. Like, you don't know how to tell you're too nice. And that was his biggest worry. My mom's biggest worry.
But I raised my brother better than that.
My mom's biggest worry was about education. She thought that I would be like derailed from my dreams. She thought I would be derailed from my dreams. So I feel like, and with his parents, I don't know, I wouldn't know what their biggest worries were about him dating me.
I can tell you that.
Are they nice to you?
But I will say they're super nice.
I don't know. Honestly, with our culture, because we have similar culture, we have the same culture. We're from the same island. Our biggest thing is, especially because of how deeply ingrained we are within our religion, culturally, it's like our biggest thing. They don't want you to get into a relationship with someone else and then that person makes you lose your faith kind of thing. Like that's their biggest worry. It's not even like, oh, you're dating someone that's not black. They don't care. Trust me.
Because a lot of the churches
have are cool, yo.
Multicultural.
Yeah, there's a lot of like my church already has like we've had several Indian families. Like my church is predominantly black. We have white families, we have Indian families. You know what I'm saying? Like different cultures come and worship with us and stuff. So it's not ever a serious problem where it's like, oh, yo, you know, I can't believe we're dating someone outside of our background. Like, how come she's not Caribbean? Or at least she's not like black or something.
This coolie girl,
you know? Right? Like it's not that serious because it's just not that serious. You know what I'm saying?
So I got a question for you. Have you ever been in an interracial relationship?
No.
Evan Smith.
I've been in multiple.
I don't know, yo. Like I prefer black women, and that's usually
I love my Asians, as some of you may have gathered, kind of. Maybe. But yeah, I love Asians.
Maybe
the Asians.
They maybe gathered this.
Not everyone reads the comments.
Shout out to LMA.
Whatever.
Oh. Okay.
That's a sign of bitterness and rejection. That's what that is.
Anyway, but yeah,
like it seriously just comes down to respect. Like,
yeah.
like a lot of times I hear people talk down on their own race, and like that to me is just like, it's so whack. Like your parents are from that race, you came from that race. How are you talking down on your entire race? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Tell them again.
That means you just don't even like yourself, like, you know? So it's like, to me, if you are in tune with who you are and like you respect where you came from, that to me shows that you're even capable of having a relationship. Because if you don't even know that stuff and you don't even know yourself, like you don't know where you came from, you don't respect it, whatever, you're not ready for a relationship with someone who's from another culture. You're gonna be too easily swayed. Like you can be, you know, someone will turn you into anything. So.
Evan Smith, you've been pretty mum on this topic. Would you like to share some of your thoughts?
Would you like to give us some of your dollars? I was gonna say 2 cents, but clearly he has more than that. You know what I'm saying? It was more than that. You need to give us some of your dollars, yo. Give me some dollars. Cash.
Concerning my experience with interracial relationships, they're interesting. I think they produce a lot more experience than, you know, one of the same culture kind of thing, because you have now the experience dealing with somebody else's culture, somebody else's background, what they believe in. It's a whole new world to you, you know. And that makes you a more well-rounded person, even if it doesn't work out, you know, just for the next person. Nothing wrong with being with your own, you know, race. Nothing wrong with being with 2 black people, 2 brown people, 2 white people. Nothing wrong with that, you know. Obviously, it's a, you know, wonderful aspect. And you're all entitled to your preference, so you actually entitled to black people to their nature. My thing with interracial relationships is there's still a stigma or still a bit of prejudice towards it. I see it a lot of times, not to point fingers, because I'm not, but you see it very predominantly in the black culture. Because while you have, and it goes for both sides of the sexes, you'll have, so you see Kat or myself get into a relationship with a white woman or someone who's not black. The black community, the black female community outcries with, oh, there goes another good guy taking away from our culture.
What's wrong with us black?
What's wrong with
black? And then on the flip side, when you see one of the sweeter black girls who end up with a white guy, it's like,
the black guys are, oh, the white guys are taking all our women, things of nature. Mind you, it's funny because these are the same people who won't say like, they don't have interest in you, but they'll complain that you're with somebody else. Like that's the issue I predominantly see, because you get a lot of flack for being a male, black male dating especially a white person, you get a lot of flack for dating a white person. A lot of other cultures, you kind of slip by, you know, whatever. It's the stigma is not that bad, but with white, it's like you get a lot of flack for it.
A lot of times it's because that same white girl they're with, they turned away a black girl who may have been more appealing on the outside versus this white girl who probably doesn't have the same boobies or rear end as the...
Be that whatever the attraction thing may be, I think everybody, you know, a relationship is not based off of attraction alone, it's based off of a connection between two people, you know, the internalization between who you are, your character, your soul, and other person, and whether you guys can connect or not. That has nothing to do with race. But a lot of times, race is seen as a possessive thing in a relationship. And so as a race, you hold on to an individual who goes outside your race because you feel like if they're doing that, either they're muddling the race or they're, you know, taking you away, or you're gone and we've lost you. You know, there's a whole bunch of preconceived notions, you know, with white people or other ethnicities that, you know, you become more like them than like us, so we don't acknowledge you as whatever anymore.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
I feel like also to like expand and like being Indian, I see this a lot in my culture, where it's not even just being Indian, it's like so specific. Me being South Indian, a lot of my South Indian family friends, they will want their kids to marry a South Indian who's also Brahmin, who also speaks Telugu, who like, you know, it's just so specific. Like, it's not even just the interracial, it's intercultural, you know, interfaith, like anything where you identify as one thing and you just don't want to let your child or let other people in your faith or in your culture or whatever it is, like you don't want to let them go, because I feel like a lot of times people feel like their culture is just going to slowly leave them or something, you know? So it's like, I get it, it can be scary even for my parents. I wouldn't want them to feel like I'm going to forget my culture. So I get it. At the same time, I don't agree with it. I think that you, as long as, like I said, you know where you came from and you still respect it, it's possible to leave and not leave, but, you know, learn about other people and be with other people and still have mutual respect for each other's race or culture, whatever it is. But I get where the fear comes from.
It is understandable because you have to remember that, you know, the fear isn't falsely rooted. It's a lot of history that goes into the whole interrelational relationships. You know, there's a lot of, especially when you deal with the most predominant one, which is white and black. Because you have to remember that no matter what, as a collective whole, no matter what, race and racism is still dealt with, you know. It's always going to be a predominant issue. So as a collective whole, you know, the stigma, even if, you know, there are black women or black males who have friends who are white, it's still kind of, you know, an unspoken thing that, hey, you know, your entire race is subjugated to ours, you know. So to get into a relationship with that, nowadays, even though it's accepted, you know, whatever, it's not always encouraged or supported, especially by, you know, people who are older, because they are closer to those days which were a lot more prevalent, you know, so it's obviously, you know, a bit scarier for them. And like Suri was saying, you know, someone raising you up as a parent does not want everything that they've instilled in you, their culture, to be gone. You know, and it does happen. There are people who were brought up a certain way, had certain beliefs, and then met somebody else and they lost all that. You know, and that's a scary thing, because now something that you should be part of who you are has been taken out. You allow somebody to take it out. So I do agree, you should be rooted in who you are. You shouldn't be, you know, going somewhere and allowing somebody to influence you. You should be going somewhere and bringing who you are as a person to something new. Be open-minded,
example,
but be rooted.
Would have to be the book, The Namesake. I don't know if you guys read that book, where the main character, like, he had his Indian name and then he had like a nickname on the side. And then when he came over to America and he met this one white girl, he didn't even use his Indian name, and he never brought any of his culture when he was going out to like vacations with their family. And then his parents were like, "What are you doing? Are you neglecting our culture? Like, what's going on?" It's a good book. They also made a movie. If y'all so desire, you could watch or read. But yeah, it's interesting. That
I don't know. Interracial relationships, like the fear of it makes sense, because like they were saying, a way of life is just that, a way of life. It's how you live your entire life, and you're gonna pass that on to your child. Like the reason all of us are here right now with our varying viewpoints and our varying ideologies is because of that fact. a long time ago, a group of people decided, yo, this is what we're gonna do. Like, this is how we do things to survive. And they pass it on to their children. And their children took that, probably added to it, and then passed it on to their children. All of our cultures are just a collective consciousness of each group of people adding to what was taught to them. You know what I'm saying? So there is a degree of stigma against you going outside of that. But like they said, if it's like, if you know who you are, you're rooted in your culture and the stuff that you've learned, and you have an open mind, then you're not losing your culture, you're just adding to it. So like, that's the difference, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the difference between knowing who you are and not knowing who you are. Are you gonna give away your culture and adopt a new one, or are you gonna take your culture and incorporate it into whatever else you're going into? So, I don't know, like I said, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm not against, like, everyone's saying I'm pro-black, but that doesn't mean that a term white woman is gonna be there. I'm gonna be like, you know, I can't talk to you because you're white. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. I will not talk to you because you're an idiot. I will not talk to you because you're willfully ignorant. I won't talk to you because, you know, you're disrespectful to your culture or anybody's culture. You're disrespectful to people's religion. Like, just negativity coming from you in general is gonna make me not want to be around you at all. You want me? Don't be a shitty person. In fact, try to be the best person you could be all the time. Even if you fail, I'll still rate you for it. I'd rate you for trying and failing. I will.
Is there any final thoughts you got for us?
Me, I would say for a final thought, I guess just like, for me, I've gotten a lot of, I don't know, like comments from people like walking down the street. Like me and my boyfriend, if we're walking down the street a lot of times, like I get comments from people or people will try to say something and they think they can just say anything and have a say in my relationship and call me all types of racial slurs. I've had people call me like the sand N-word, or I've had people call me mud baby, people call me packy and like, oh, why are you with a black man or whatever.
Wow.
So in terms of that stuff, it's like, to me, it seems almost hypocritical because it's like, you're trying to accuse us or him more, they're more accusing him really of like leaving his culture or something, when at the same time you're like being ignorant about my culture. So I just don't see where those two things can really align. If you're so pro your culture, you should be pro everybody being their own culture and being the way they want to be too. So.
Well, thank you, Sarita, for being on the channel.
That wasn't interrupted.
High fives all around.
Can you promise the people out there that you're gonna be back?
I'll be back.
Cool.
There you go, guys.
Every single week.
I don't want to see no thirsty comments.
I'm gonna write out the application.
My brother's her man. Respect me for I disrespect your life force.
You know what? It doesn't even, if you think about it, we actually don't have to say anything because Javon can handle all of them.
Javon can fold
all of you, man.
All of you.
Like,
Hey, let's not threaten our fans. I still love you.
we love them too. We're just saying.
I'm just giving you forewarning.
Off the table. Like,
This table, she's not on it.
Don't even push her table. She doesn't. There's no sale. Nothing.
Like, come to the table, ask about our other specials,
You know?
but she's not on the
We
menu.
said, yo, go look. You know, it's like we said,
What
look for
other
Shani.
special?
We said, look for Shani, right? And go holla at Shani. We're not saying that this time. There's no look for. Don't look for. Don't holla at. Let it go.
We ain't even gonna put her information.
There's no info in the description. There's nothing for you niggas.
So if you wanna see her, this is all you have to work
That's
with.
all you got.
Yeah.
Don't even.
Or go to my Twitter at SKB Reports because that's my journalistic Twitter and it's like my professional account.
We know what
There you have it.
Listen, she's an up and coming journalist. She will be on like,
We'll plug that.
she will be on CNN one day, giving you the real. You know what I'm saying?
Just don't go looking for respect for that.
Last week's video is over that way. The subscribe button is somewhere over
Here.
and information in the description.
I've always wanted to know how people do that in videos.
Well,
Like, share, subscribe.
And if you
quest for
have,
10K.
if you have any comments or your own stories or your own relationships you want to, talk
Or
about,
tips for
or
interracial
tips for relationships, your own stigma that you had to fight against, leave it in the comments below.
We would love to hear from you guys and your different viewpoints because realistically, you're making me stronger. I'm like the Highlander. Your viewpoints are gonna make me immortal.
Alright.
Knowledge is power.
So yesterday I was like, oh, you crazy, man. That's not my wife. That's an